Today is second day of our residency in Futuro House. The aim of this was to explore how our research that is in art and science deeply integrated relates to our degree show and how we can present it. And we had a workshop with these architectural Lego pieces, exploring these conceptual ideas of approaching how we could do that, how we could present this research.
We've all come together after working separately for a while, and we've been asking a lot of questions and creating Lego sculptures that reflect the concepts behind our work. We connected all of our structures that we'd made individually and also created links between them in terms of the concepts and also the research.
There's a breathtaking scope of practice on the course. People that treat the outdoors as a laboratory and people that treat the inside of a lab like a studio. The way that people come about their work is often very unique to themselves, but there's often a peculiar direction to it. The way in which people work is extraordinarily valuable to the group dynamic and the diversity of ways in which people work, because you have this rigor and methodology that comes from the more scientific members of the group, which breaks things down and reconfigures them, that looks at the component parts and arranges them. And then you've got people whose touch is much lighter, for whom the process of science is more like natural history, who explore and document and draw together observations of the world around them. It's always difficult to put a theme to such a diverse selection of people from so many different practices. But if I was to name an undercurrent, something that pins it all together, it's process. I think there's some extraordinarily sensitive work and rigorous work, and it's an ecosystem of ideas going on really here. And it's a fundamentally interdisciplinary course with mathematicians and neuroscientists and artists. Everyone's brought their own little population of thoughts and concepts and methods, and they've all interbred and cross-pollinated, and I think we've mutually influenced each other in a really interesting way. I've been looking a little bit at complex systems, and that was definitely woven into how we approach the design, but on a kind of a latent level. It's the way that lots of seemingly separate, totally autonomous, unique individuals come together to make something that's larger than the sum of its parts. And so we had many meetings and conversations in which we went over what was required. What are the base units? Do you need a wall? Do you need a table? Do you need a dark space? Do you need something up high? Does your work need room to breathe? We tried to build a design that was greater than the sum of its parts, that could provide what was required for the individual, but also link them together across space with curatorial sightlines, ways of connecting work not just through proximity but through meaning, and how meaning can sort of gesture across space. You've got this whole range of different things that go into a degree show, and all that's ever seen at the end is this final polished product. But actually it's a system with many different inputs and outputs, in which everyone is involved equally in getting the thing manifested, in turning it from concept to reality.